The NFL draft begins tonight in Chicago, but as is so often the case, the league has been getting a whole lot of attention for what's been happening away from the field as well. To that end, a federal appeals court ruled earlier this week that Patriots quarterback Tom Brady will have to serve a 4-game suspension deriving from the deflategate controversy. The ruling upheld Commissioner Roger Goodell's authority to so punish Brady. But the move has also drawn sharp criticism from NFL players and the Players Association. Some say Goodell simply has too much power. And NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, along with Panthers linebacker Thomas Davis, are in Chicago for the first round of the NFL draft beginning tonight. Davis, the 2014 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, helping now to launch a new league initiative aimed at middle school students. Gentlemen, we want to thank you both for your time this morning. I want to start with you, Commissioner Goodell. Tell us, what are the goals now of the character playbook?
Well, to give kids the tools to engage in life in a positive way, to have positive relationships, to understand how to communicate effectively, how to work with others, and how, when they do have conflict, how to resolve that in a productive way. These are life skills that we think we can provide through this program and expand it to many kids throughout the country.
Thomas, I know you are, again, a part of this initiative. As I mentioned, you were named the Man of the Year a year ago. Your peers voted you the Bart Starr Award this past offseason for your character and your leadership. Quite simply, you have been a massive presence in your community. What does it mean to you, and what does it mean really for the recognition from your peers?
The recognition from my peers and in front of my peers has been amazing. You know, to know that winning the Bart Starr Award this year and it was voted on by the players, that was a huge honor. And I think it really speaks to the work that we've been able to do in the community. With the initiative that the NFL is launching now, working with middle school kids, I definitely think that that's a great program, because that's what we work with my Youth Leadership Academy. And I feel like that's the perfect age for kids to start working and learning about, you know, having productive leadership skills and just really being a productive citizens.
It is involvement that is very much appreciated. Commissioner, meanwhile, I mentioned you're there for the NFL draft. A team representing Los Angeles has the first pick tonight, and the first pick for an LA team for the first time in decades. What did it mean for the return to Los Angeles for the league?
Well, it's obviously very positive for the millions of fans in Southern California, Rams fans that lost the team a couple of decades ago. The return of the Rams has been a very positive thing for that community and, of course, the NFL. I think coming back to the second largest market in the States, the entertainment capital of the world, this is a great opportunity for the NFL and for the Rams in particular.
Commissioner, obviously the league and its various business looms in the headlines virtually every day of the year now. Tom Brady's suspension obviously has attracted a lot of criticism, controversy, not just for the punishment itself, but for thoughts about the power you wield in the process. What's been your reaction to it?
Well, this was a decision that we reached last summer. The courts overturned it last summer, and then the appeals court obviously overturned it earlier this week and said they should not have done that in the first place. We think it's clear, based on the Court of Appeals decision, on the authority that was granted to us in the collective bargaining agreement. We also think the facts were clear, and the Court of Appeals ruled on that and issued statements on that. The underlying facts were clear, and that there was a violation here, and this was certainly something that was in the scope of the authority granted by to the commissioner. So this is a decision we did last year. We followed it through the appeals process, but we're moving forward now.
Reaction has been polarizing, if nothing else. In fact, Saints quarterback Drew Brees called you a judge, jury, and executioner. It's a turn of phrase that we have seen. To that end, the Wall Street Journal has reported that perhaps there's now an agreement to come between the league and the players' union that will move disciplinary action to an unaffiliated third party. I know you've said in the past that you find the disciplinary process to be, if nothing else, very time-consuming for you. Where do things stand there?
Well, we've had lots of discussions over several years with the Players Association on how to improve our disciplinary process. We've actually made changes to our disciplinary process. We had extensive discussion over the last 6 months, and when we could reach an agreement, which we haven't at this point in time, we're far from reaching any agreement, but when we can and we can improve it, we certainly will. And that's something that we would be willing to engage with any time with the unit, and they know that.
In terms of improving, just for perhaps the perception and the optics, can you see how people would think that it would be best for a third party to be involved in the disciplinary process, considering at this point you are the one who hands down punishment, and then you are also the one who hears an appeal?
Well, certainly, and we've, again, been willing to engage on that. However, that's been the system for several decades. We have processes that use third parties. In this case, we had an independent report by someone outside of the NFL do the investigation, bring the report, and determine to us what the facts were. We also had a hearing, which we spent over 11 hours in, and we made a determination from there. The courts have now ruled that we did that in a fair and open process consistent with our collective bargaining agreement, and so that's why we're moving forward.
Thomas, obviously player health and safety has also been squarely in the headlines of late. We're seeing players now retire perhaps early to a degree, many citing concern for their long-term health. For example, Bills linebacker A.J. Tarpley decided to step away after suffering a concussion this past year. He was just 23 years old. I know, well, if nothing else, as a fellow linebacker, but really as a player, what is your take on the risks that you face and accept in playing this game?
You know, coming into this game and with the sport being as violent as it is, you know without a doubt that you have a possibility of facing some injuries, and that's something that I've had to deal with throughout my career. But at the same time, I think with all the information that's coming out about CTE and the concussion thing, you know, it's very alarming for some players. Like you said, you see guys walking away from the game at an early age. And I think until more information is continued to be collected, guys are going to still be alert or trying to find out all the information that we can about everything that's out there about the CTE and the concussion things. But I don't think it's going to stop a lot of the players from playing the game, because, you know, that's kind of what we do as players. You know, we enjoy playing this game, and we understand that we signed up to play this game, and, you know, there's some consequences that come from, you know, playing and having the impact with the hits that we take on a day-to-day basis. But at the same time, you know, we want to know more information, and it's important for us to know that information.
Commissioner, I want to get you out of here on this then. Are you confident in and comfortable with the league's stance right now on data collection with regard to injuries and the long-term risks associated with them?
Yes, I think what we've done is put in, working with the Players Association and working with our players, there's been a real culture change on not only the awareness of different types of injuries, what we can do to prevent those injuries, the proper kind of medical care. And I think what you're seeing is that culture change is leading to better care for our players. And in addition to the rule changes and the equipment and the research that we're all investing in together, as Thomas says, we need to get the facts, we need to get the information and share those facts with everybody. We understand the desire, and what we're trying to do is accelerate that. Meanwhile, making sure we do everything to make our game safer, not only at the NFL level, but at every level of football.
Commissioner Roger Goodell, Panthers linebacker Thomas Davis, we very much appreciate the time today.
You bet. Thanks, John.